Okay, hello guys. This is year 9 video for statistics and probability lesson 3. Okay, please get your pens, notebook, and your calculator ready. Okay, so today's video is about stem and leaf plot. So what do we mean by stem? So possibly you know that if we have a tree, okay, so here you got some stem, okay, and you have some leaves, right? Things like this. Okay, so you got some leaves there. Okay, so stem and leaf. Alright, and okay, so for stem and leaf, so it's for what? Why do we need to learn this? Because this is for data representation. Okay, there are many ways to represent data, but in particular, for this type of stem and leaf plots, is for the data representation for discrete numerical data. Okay, so this data is discrete numerical data. Okay, right, let's say, for example, I have a group of data about number of students in each class. Okay. Okay, so I just randomly assign some numbers. For example, I got numbers like 12, okay, 25, 13, 31, 33, also I got 24, 18, 19, 26, okay, 30 and 20. Alright, so that 11 datas. Okay, so data representation means how could we group the data together so make it easier to read. Alright, okay, so how could we represent the data? Possibly one way to make it look better is to write the data in ascending order. For example, if you look at the ascending order, should be the smallest should be 12 and should be 13, right? And how about the next one? Should be 18, should be 19, and then okay, there are only 4, 1. Okay, so let's circle these 4. These are starting with 10, right? Okay, and the next 4 will be starting with 2. That's for 20s. All right, so you got use another color, 20. All right, so this one got 24, got 25, and you got 26. Okay, and the rest of them are 30s, right? So you got 30, 31, 33. Okay, so when you look at after we group them into ascending order, so they look more systematic, so it's easier for us to read. And okay, so but still we think that kind of representation still is still a little bit clumsy, because we repeat each time with that 1. Every time you need to write 1, and also for 2, for 20s, every time you need to write that 2, and for 30s, every time you need to write that 3. Okay, so that's why we come up with another idea, which is let's write all the thing into a stem and leaf plot. So what do we mean by stem and leaf plot? Okay, so first, right, okay, so for the left hand column is called stem, all right, and for the right hand column is called leaf. All right, okay, so and for stem I just register every time the tens, right? Okay, for example, for the first group I said that's 1, okay, and then write 2, 3, 8, 9. What does it mean? Okay, so this actually refers to the first 4 data, alright? So they are 12, 13, 18, 19, but in the stem leaf diagram or plot, you only need to write that one once, and then you write the unit digit on the right hand side. So you got 2, 3, 8, 9. Okay, so each data for this 2 is not just 2, it's actually belongs to a data 12. Okay, so every time when you read for a stem leaf, you should be aware of the number is not just itself, it must be combined with the number in the other column. Like if there's a number in stem, it must be combined with a number in the column for leaves. All right. Okay, so that's the first group, and that's how could we write the second group? So you should understand that it should be start with 2, and how about 0? Then you just write 0, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so again, for this is not 5. This is actually representing 25. Okay, all right, and the last row should be 3, 0, 1, 3. Okay, so that's what we call stem leaf diagram. Okay, and since if you only write that stem leaf diagram, there might be some misunderstanding. People don't realize that's 1 actually is 10, that's 2 is actually 20, right? So you better write a key. So key is here, like you just use any one, like if you write key 2 stroke 4, so that means what? So that means 24. Okay, so with that key as reference, so people won't misunderstand that stem means 10 and that leaf means unit, right? Okay, so that's what we have, what we call stem and leaf plot. Okay, so let me put it into words. Stem and leaf plots. This is another way to display. Display means representation, numerical discrete data. It must be numerical discrete data. Why? You see, all these are integers. If they are not integers, they are continuous, then it becomes impossible to represent. They must always have a key or legend to show what each stem and leaf represent. So key or we could call it legend. All right. Okay, so let's try one more example. So that example actually in the handout, but I would like you to use a pen and notebook. Try to copy the numbers and write your answer just next to on the leaf column. Okay, all you need to do is write the number on the leaf column. Stem, I've prepared that for you. Okay, to write it properly, first you need to figure out all the numbers starting with 1, so that's tens, right? So okay, so let me circle them. So 19, so there's only 2 of them, are there? Yeah, there are only 2 of them, right? Okay, then you write here. Okay, so they're supposed to be in ascending order, but both are the same. So you write 2 9s here, with a little bit spacing, just like what we have done here, right? Okay, and you might use a comma in some case, but if you don't want to use a comma, just make sure they separate a little bit, so to have some social distancing, right, among the numbers. Okay, and how about 2? Okay, for 2, let's circle them. Okay, 2, that's 20. This one, 24, 26, 27, 24 again, 25, 28. Yep, that's all of them. And be a bit careful, because now you got more than just 2 numbers. There are 7 of them, and you need to write the numbers in ascending order. So 2, the smallest must be 0. How about the next one? Okay, so 2 zeros down. 24, yep, that's 224. So don't write 24. You just need to write 4 and 4. Okay, is that 25 and 26, 27 and 28. Okay, right, too close. Okay, and then we're going to do 3. Let's use this color. Okay, 31, 31, 36. So 3 of them, 31, 31, 36. Oh, you see, I'm wrong, right? Okay, so there's another 29 here. So I miss it. So you need to rewrite that one. Okay, we go back to 30. So that 31, 31, 26. Anything left? Or here. That's good. Right, and the last one will be 42, 46. (42, 43). Okay, so that's it. And you must have a key as a reference, so that people know that's 3/6, that means 36. All right. Okay, so that's how we construct a stem and leaf plot for data below, right? Okay. So for this one, please spend some time. At least I think you might need at least 5 minutes or so. Try to copy all the numbers. If you don't want to copy all the numbers, that's okay. At least you need to write your answers in your notebook. Okay, be a bit patient, because it takes time. All right, so I'm going to pause the video, but you need to time yourself for around 5 or 7 minutes. Right? Okay, if you have finished, okay, you can track your answer. Should be like this. Okay, try to see if you got all the answers correct. Okay, and it's always a good idea to count number of data here, and you track with your number of leaves. Okay, so the number of data here should be, let's see, there are 15, 25 data. Okay, so totally there are 25 data. Okay, so are there 25? You can track. It should be 25. Okay, so the last one, this one is the key. This one is not part of the data, right? Okay, so, and also it would be better if you can write the title of the plot. Okay, so that's what we call title. Sometimes it's about a real life situation. For example, this one's about schools for ladies football. Okay, so it should be title. All right. Okay, so let's see question B. B is about find the medium. Okay, so remember what's the definition of medium? Okay, remember medium is the middle data, right? So you need to find the middle data. How could we find the middle data? You need to find the location. How could we find the location? Location is where if you arrange all the data in ascending order, then you could find their location according to this formula. So that's why you need to know how many data are there. Okay, so so the 13th data, right? So location is 13th data. So you need to find the medium. Okay, 13. How could we get the 13th data, right? So from the smallest one, so 49 is the smallest one. Okay, so how could we get the 13th? Okay, let me tell you. So remember that's not 9, that's what we call 49. So that's first, and that's second, and that's third, right? So because that's 49, 53, 56, and that's fourth, etc. Okay, so first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Okay, so we know that should be 13th data for the locations 13th. So how could we find the 13th? Should be here. So 9 is the first, 3 is the second, and so on. Okay, so the 13th data should be here. That's 9. So what's the medium? So some of you might just write 9, but remember that's wrong. So when you see a 9 in a stem and leaf diagram, it's not actually not 9. It must be combined with the number in the stem, so it's 79. Okay, so that's very important. Don't just write the number you see. You need to combine them with the number in the other column, right? Okay, so that basically show us how to find the median. Okay, so for this question, there's another one. Okay, so this time, not only you need to find the median, you also need to find the mean. Okay, so let's find the median first. Okay, so remember that median. Okay, median is always the middle data. Okay, how could we find the middle data? We need to find number of data here. Okay, what are the number of data here? Okay, so let's count number of leaves. Okay, number of data means number of leaves. Alright, so there are 15 data, right? Okay, so to find the location, sorry, that's no, sorry, just median. Location of that median is 15 plus 1 divided by 2. So that's 8th data. So 8th data, that doesn't mean the medium's 8. It just means you need to find the 8th data in ascending order. Okay? And so we know that's medium is the 8th data. How could we find the 8th data? Right, let's see. So how about that's 8? That's the first data. Which one is the second data? Second largest, second smallest data. It's not 2, of course. It's not 2 because that's 2 is 22. That's 8, 18. That's 9, 19. So that's second one. So that's the third. So you see, how could we find the order of the data? Third, fourth, fifth to be 25, sixth should be 27, seventh should be 27, right? Eighth should be, is that 8? But remember, median is not just 8, it's 28. That's very important. Okay, so median is 28. Alright, so how can we find the mean? Okay, mean is what we call in the symbols x with a bar on the top of it, all the data divided by number of data. Okay, there are lots of data this time. Okay, you need to add all of them. 18 plus 19 plus 22, that's 222. Okay, 25, 27 plus 27 plus 28 plus 30 plus 31, 34. Okay, wow, that's very long. 46, 47, 40, 45. Okay, seems I need to elongate that a little bit. Remember, it must be divided by number of data. That's 15. And okay, so if you use your calculator to track, okay, so what data is it? Alright, should be 29.4. Okay, so that basically the mean and median for a plot, right? For a stem and leaf plot, right? So basically use the previous definitions of median. Median is the middle data. Mean means you add all the data divided by the number of data. So when you compare these two numbers, what do you find? What do you see? So you see these two numbers quite close, right? So that means for this set of data, the data is quite symmetrical and without outlier. Okay, since in last lesson we understand that if there is outlier, then the mean will be quite different from the median, but this time they are still quite close. Alright, okay, let's do our last thing. Last thing is about what we call back-to-back. Okay, it's what we call a back-to-back. Let's do okay, what do we mean by back-to-back stem and leaf plots? Okay, so for this type of graph, is used to compare two similar sets of data. Okay, of course, for example, if there are two shops, both sells jeans, alright, the daily sales over 16-day period are monitored and recorded. Okay, so there are the number of jeans sold, okay, for 16-day period. Alright, so shop A and shop B, so they have different number of jeans sold each day, and you need to compare them to see how could we represent the data at the same time. Of course, you can plot two stem leaf plots, right? You can do tries, one for A, one for B, but sometimes we are just lazy. We don't want to do two stem and leaf plots. Okay, instead you want to do it once. Okay, how could we do it once? So we need to be a bit creative, right? Okay, so the idea is this time you draw the plot like this. You got common stem, so you see the middle one. So this is what we call the common stem. Okay, because this stem will be used for both A and B. Alright, okay, let's do A first. Okay, for A, right, we got 3, we got 12, and you got 14, 15, 20 something. Alright, okay, so let's circle. First we circle all the things with just single digits. Okay, so that's only one of them. Okay, how could we deal with single digit with stem and leaf? Okay, for single digits, all you need to do is to just write a 0 here, 0. Okay, and you need to write 3 here. Okay, so that's not 30, alright? So you need to read it on the other way, because from right to left is quite weird, but that's how it is. So always stem is like is the 10th unit, right? So that's why 30 for the stem and leaf plot on the left hand side is actually 3. It's not 30. Be careful here. Okay, and how about for B? Okay, for B you see, oh, there are many more than. Okay, so you see there are many days with just single digit cell. Okay, for all those single digit cells, you need to write onto B. Okay, so they would be 4. Okay, right, 4, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 9. Okay, so that's for B. Okay, so here 04 means 4, 06 means 6, right? But on the other hand, for short A, 30 means 3, right? So it's a bit confusing. Be careful. Remember, stem always means times 10, right? Okay. All right. Then you go to the next level. It's about 12. Okay. So all these are okay. So we have for B. Right, okay, so for the second one, so you write 1 here. Okay, and for A you will have 12, 13, 14. Okay, so you write from the center to the left hand side, right? Okay, and for B, you need to write like 10, 12, 13, 14, 6, 16, 17. Okay? And for the rest of them, for the last bunch of data, okay, so that's 21, 22, 24, 26, 27, 28. Okay, that's 127. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to write 2, okay, 21, 22, 24, 26, 27, 28. Okay, so here only got 27. Okay. Okay, if you just have a very just have a look, okay, from the distribution of the data, you could see short A has much better cells than short B, because most of the short B cells are less than 20, right? Most of them are around 10s or single digit cells, but for A, most of the cells are more than 10. Okay, so that's why we could have a very intuitive impression about the cells which short actually doing better, right? Okay, calculate the median. All right, so let's do the median. Okay, so median for A. Okay, so remember there are 16 data. Alright, so for 16 data, the medium is the middle data, right? So location for the medium is always 16 plus 1 over 2. Okay, so that's 8.5. Okay, so that's 8.5 though, so the order is 8.5 data, so but we don't have such 8.5 order, right? So that means it should be between 8 and 9, right? So the medium is 8th data plus 9th data and divided by 2. Okay, so where is the 8th data? So you need to find the first one, right? So for A, so that's 3 should be the first data. That's 2 should be the second, right? So 3 is that's 3 is the first one. That's 2 means 12 is the second. Okay, so the 8th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it should be 5. Sorry. And the 9th should be 21. All right. Let's see if that's really the case. Oh, should be okay. So it should be, let's see, 215. Yeah, 21. All right, and we need to divide by 2, so that's 13. So yep, so that should be 13. Okay, so the medium is 13, right? Okay, for B, because both sets of data have 16 data, so again the median is again the 8th data plus 9th data divided by 2. And the 8th data this time should be 9, right? Okay, and the 9th data should be 10 divided by 2. Okay. Okay, so you see B's median is less than A's median. That should be expected, right? Okay, so that's how could we use stats back-to-back stem and leaf plots. Alright, so pretty much we have finished this video. Alright, okay, so we have learned stem and leaf plot, and we have learned how to use stem and leaf plot to find median and mean, and how to construct a stem leaf plot. Alright, stem leaf plots give us a very good visualization about the distribution of the data. Okay, also it's a very convenient way for us to represent the data. Okay, so for the homework you need to do some practice here. Right, so that's worksheet number 3. That's against which should be the practice for the homework. Okay, so please remember to do it, and after you have done some of the questions, if you can't finish all of them, just try to do some of them to let me know that you are doing your homework or you are engaging in the lesson. Okay, then you send your photos. Okay, send the photos of your homework to the folder in the OneNote. Alright, okay, so see you next time. Bye.